Okay, road closed, detour. Interesting. I wonder why. I have to take this smaller back road. But this looks even better than the road that we would have had. Oh, that was now a wonderful stop at Aankoms Farm. So if you pass through, don't miss Aankoms Farm. It is a great place for interesting goodies to buy. Certainly refreshments are there plenty. And you can know that Adriette will be ready for a chat and also explaining and telling you stories about this area that is just simply very interesting. I'm feeling also refreshed because I had my apricot jam sandwiches and my boerewors, so I'm ready for the next part of the road. This trip continues into the Cederberg and following these dirt roads. The next stop is the Matjiesrivier Nature Reserve. That is about, so far as it, 32 kilometers from here, so it's not too far to go. But it will be beautiful dirt roads all the way. So I didn't catch it on camera, but I just had 3 bikers passing me on a bit bigger bikes. This road that you see ahead, maybe you cannot see straight in the distance, but you can see from where I'm riding now, you can see all the way right there over the mountains, right there in front where the road will eventually go over. It's quite extraordinary to have this long view forward to see where one is going. Yeah, this is just a wonderful area to ride. But I will take it slow. Those riders, you will see a bit of the dust, they are going significantly faster than I'm going. But this is now really the part of the road that I would not like to rush. A little bit of washboard here, but the road is really not in a bad condition. One can actually keep a bit of a speed. I'm keeping it here around 60 kilometers an hour. That is just for me a safe riding speed and also allows me to have a bit of a look around while I ride. So this part here in front is so steep that it's actually a piece of tarred road. We build up a bit of momentum here. Sure. Beautiful. Yeah, immediately it is dirt roads again. Let's just look at what these signs are saying here. It is welcoming us here to the Cederberg Conservancy. Oh, we are now in leopard country, so it seems like there's quite a number of leopard species that you will find in this area. I think there's many places that makes one feel like you are now going through the gateway to the Cederberg, but yet there's another view to this, and this valley, as it snakes down here, just welcomes one to the Cederberg so appropriately. Let's have a look. Let's go. Yeah, this road remains very interesting. You have to be careful. It can be quite suddenly tighter turns than you think you're gonna get, but yeah. Maybe some of you will remember that I had a bit of GPS issues in my trip to Aanneysberg. So I figured this out now. I didn't upgrade to any particular GPS. I'm still using my phone and only Google Maps. So yes, some of you have asked me what maps do I use. I just go with Google Maps at the moment. I think the kind of roads I'm riding are established public roads and all of them are on Google Maps. But what I figured out is that if you lose signal on Google Maps and you have downloaded a map, it does not automatically go to that downloaded map. So I know I don't have signal here, so I just switch off my mobile data, and once you've switched off the mobile data and you do searches on your offline map, everything seems to work okay. So as you can see, It's working perfectly fine now, and if I just realized that maybe on my Neisberg trip I might have been okay, because even then I did have offline maps, but I thought I couldn't access them. So yeah, so I hope that explains a bit how I'm using Google Maps at the moment. Working perfectly fine for me. It shows me that I'm 21 kilometers away at the moment from Matjiesrivier Nature Reserve. Another 25 minutes or so of fantastic dirt road riding to get there. Oh, this is Mount Cedar. There's quite a broad crossing of the river here. You can see that flooding can be a bit of a problem. Yeah, I think when the rain comes down here, there can be a lot of water flowing. Yeah, so here, quite bumpy and loose. Just take it a bit slow. All good? Well, hopefully you can enjoy this view as I'm enjoying this from this vantage point. You can see the road all the way up there where I crossed over, and then the drive down this extremely beautiful valley to the farm down below, and now climbing this part over the ridge again. So it's quite steep. You will not see it on the camera, but it's quite a steep ride. The CRF is doing well. As I mentioned, this CRF I've bought it about 5 months ago, and I just love how it rides. You can see that it is quite well equipped for these kind of roads. I've made a few modifications, so in some of the videos I will just point out some of them, but I think one of the significant ones I did was to add the pannier racks as well as the carrier at the back. Yeah, just to carry the bags. These bags are just ordinary backpacks that I can fix quite nicely with their own straps, but also with straps going across. So yeah, that makes it just quite comfortable, more than enough space to carry all the stuff that I may need for a trip like this. But yeah, I will never get tired of this kind of view. Sure. Yeah, the climbing continues. This area tends to be extremely hot during the months of January and February. Today is the 1st of February, so you would expect it actually to be quite hot, but it is not as hot as it typically would be. It is not uncommon to have temperatures exceeding 40 degrees here this time of the year, but today I think the forecast was only something like 28 maybe. It's really a bonus to have these conditions where it is sunny but not incredibly hot. To go over these rougher parts, it's better to keep the revs up a bit. A bit more technical getting out. Yeah, I think this cattle gate marks the top of this section. And of course, then you go into the next beautiful valley with some significant downhill now to go. Oh, this is absolutely fantastic. So I've now reached the lowest part of the second valley you get to after passing Aankoms Farm Stall. It's really interesting to see how this is surrounded by mountains. Yeah, and lush and green here at the bottom where obviously lots of water comes through. Now this is quite a low drift, this one. This one must be quite prone to flooding. So you can see that it even has a little bit of a chart next to it to indicate how deep the drift is. Because I think if the water is flowing quite significant over and you approach it, you have no idea with a car. Yeah, I just made a quick stop here next to the road under a tree. There's not so many trees in this area, so you actually need to look for these drifts and lower lying areas to get some greenery, and this is quite I think a nice tree to make a quick stop for a water break. So yeah, let me just refresh a bit before I continue on the road to Matjiesrivier Nature Reserve. Okay, that was quite a nice quick water stop. Continuing on the road of beauty. Yeah, so the climb out of this second valley is not as steep. Yeah, they didn't put any tar road here that I can see. Matjiesrivier Nature Reserve. Okay, road closed, detour. Interesting. I wonder why. Okay, so I have to take this smaller back road. But this looks even better than the road that we would have had. Great stuff. It might now bring us to the road that connects the Stadsaal Caves and Algeria campsite. Let me just get out of this. Oh. It makes for a really interesting little detour on this rough road. I am still quite new to motorcycle riding, so for me to do these kind of roads is quite new, and I still need to learn how to do this. So I suppose every bit of experience will help. The GPS says there's a turn to the right in almost 8 kilometers from here. It might take us along the Truitjieskraal road. Explore with me. Let's see where this goes. See, it's got a few sandy parts. One thing I'm really not used to is riding a motorcycle through sand. Okay, I made it through that part. You can see some other motorcycle tracks also here. So obviously those guys that passed me must have had to go through this road as well. Okay. It's a bit slipping and sliding. But if I look at some of the motorcycle tracks, it seems like I'm not the only one slipping and sliding. Makes me feel a bit better. Yeah, so I was correct. This road actually takes you to Truitjieskraal. It says an entry permit is required here. So I will not be going to Truitjieskraal today, but it's also a very beautiful area to explore. This is so much of a back road that it's even got a gate. Let me just get the gate sorted. But here's the sign to Wuppertal. Yeah, that's eventually where I will go. Let me just also a little drift here. Subject to flooding. You see this, almost all the drifts. So the GPS wants to take me straight through, so I'm not sure. I will just go straight through. Oh, this is beautiful. Beautiful little houses here. I'm sure these are self-catering accommodation. And look at this beautiful little dam. And then another gate. Now, this is a proper detour. Okay, hopefully that was the last gate. It does take a bit of time to get through if you're alone on a motorcycle. And it is indeed the steep little road that we saw in the distance when we passed Truitjieskraal that is now needed to get out of here. Yo, suddenly one is quite high. Look at this, like a mini pass. This was now unexpected. Sure. Well, I'm just loving this little detour. It is an absolute bonus for the ride of today. It is causing the road a bit to be longer than I anticipated, but who's going to complain about this, huh? When you have the opportunity to ride these roads. This is the main road between Stadsaal Caves and Algeria campsite, so heading now again in the direction of Stadsaal Caves. It says that Matjies Nature Reserve is 6 kilometers away. We're now approaching the turnoff to Stadsaal Caves. I cannot enter without cash. So what actually happened is I planned this trip to have cash with me, because I know these kind of things happen where you can only pay by cash. But I forgot my wallet at home this morning. So yeah, this is now a bit of bad luck. I will thus not be able to show you Stadsaal Caves this time around. I'm making my way down from the entrance of Stadsaal Caves to Matjiesrivier Nature Reserve. I'm going to make a quick stop there. I'm not sure if that office is closed. I think there was some significant damage to this road with flooding during the winter, so it looks like there is some work on this bridge. So I only assume that this is actually the Matjies River. Of course, not a lot of water at the moment. It is not the rainy season, but be assured that when winter comes, there's going to be lots of rain again. Looks like an old cemetery here. This office is only open during the week. Look at these beautiful buildings. So usually one can buy some permits and so on here at the Matjiesrivier Nature Reserve office, but I suspect it is closed. I've now made a bit of a stop here at Matjiesrivier Nature Reserve. I think the office is closed, but I'm just going to have a bit of a look there, because I think there are a few displays and so on. Now all kinds of information is on display here, talking about the wilderness area of the Cederberg, even all the kinds of fish that you might be able to get here. Snakes. And everywhere you look, they talk about leopard country. You should be a bit wary of leopards here. And all kinds of skeletons. Matjiesrivier Nature Reserve office. There must be some historical significance to the beautiful buildings, of course, here as well.